Finally got us to marry was when our accountant said, you know, you could pay a lot less taxes if you were married. I mean, not me, I wanted to, but that was what said. Daryl said, okay.
The story of Captain and Tennille represents one of music's most intriguing paradoxes. A duo that created some of the most beloved love songs of the 1970s, while privately struggling with an emotional disconnect in their own relationship. Their journey, from meteoric rise to eventual separation, reveals the often stark contrast between public perception and private reality in the entertainment industry. Both Toni Tennille and Daryl Dragon were born into families where music played a central role. Toni, born Catherine Antoinette Tennille, came into the world on May 8, 1940, in Montgomery, Alabama. Her mother, a music teacher, provided her earliest musical education and encouraged her development as a pianist. This early exposure to music led Toni to pursue formal training at Auburn University and later at the Berklee College of Music, where she developed her understanding of music theory and performance. Daryl Dragon, born August 27, 1942, in Los Angeles, was the son of conductor Carmen Dragon. His upbringing in a household steeped in classical music tradition shaped his future career. He studied at the Los Angeles Conservatory of Music and UCLA, developing the technical skills that would later define his work. Before meeting Tennille, Dragon had already established himself as a respected musician, most notably as a keyboard player for the Beach Boys. The paths of these two musicians converged in the early 1970s during a recording session. Their musical chemistry was immediate and undeniable, leading them to form both a professional and personal partnership. Dragon's nickname Captain originated from his time with the Beach Boys, where he often wore a captain's hat during performances. This image would become an integral part of their duo's identity when they officially formed Captain and Tennille in 1972.
Stop. I know why you don't want to stop. Thank you, Ira.
Keep it going.
I have to ask you why it's taken me this long to get you in this spot so I could interview you. Come on now, sweetie. You promised you'd talk. Really, why? Don't egg him on, guys. Why, really, why didn't you want to do this?
I don't know, just too direct. I have to be honest, and I'm scared in front of more than 14.
The duo's breakthrough came in 1975 with their recording of Love Will Keep Us Together, written by Neil Sedaka and Howard Greenfield. The song became a massive hit, reaching #1 on the Billboard Hot 100 and earning them a Grammy Award for Record of the Year. This success launched a string of hits including Do That to Me One More Time and Muskrat Love, establishing them as one of the decade's most successful musical acts. Their popularity extended beyond music into television, with The Captain and Tennille Show running from 1976 to 1977. While the variety show lasted only one season, it helped cement their place in popular culture and showcase their versatility as entertainers. Despite their professional success and public image as a romantic duo, the private relationship between Toni and Daryl was complicated. According to Tennille's later revelations, their marriage lacked the emotional depth she desperately sought. She disclosed that throughout their marriage, Dragon never said, "I love you," a reflection of his difficulty with emotional expression. Dragon's reserved nature stemmed from his upbringing in what Tennille described as a rigid family environment. While he was undeniably talented musically, he struggled with public attention and found performing in front of cameras challenging. He often remarked that he saw himself as a musician rather than a performer, creating a disconnect between his preferred role and the demands of stardom. Even as their personal relationship faced challenges, their musical connection remained strong. They continued to create successful music together, with their professional partnership serving as the strongest bond between them. Tennille's song, The Way I Want to Touch You, was her attempt to express her feelings for Dragon, though he later admitted to focusing more on the musical arrangement than the emotional content of the lyrics. The couple's relationship took on new dimensions when Dragon was diagnosed with Parkinson's disease. Despite their earlier divorce in 2014, Tennille remained involved in his care, demonstrating the complex nature of their bond. She showed dedication as both a former partner and caregiver during his illness, finding new ways to connect and communicate as his health declined. Dragon's passing in 2019 marked the end of an era, but Tennille's tributes to him revealed the lasting impact of their relationship. Despite its complications, their partnership had created something truly special in both music and life. Captain and Tennille's influence on popular music extends beyond their chart success. Their songs, particularly Love Will Keep Us Together, have become enduring classics that continue to resonate with new generations. They demonstrated how two different personalities could create beautiful harmony in music, even when personal harmony proved more elusive. Their story also provides a thoughtful commentary on the nature of relationships in the entertainment industry. The contrast between their public image as the perfect musical couple and the private reality of their relationship highlights the complexities of maintaining personal connections under the spotlight of fame. The relationship between Toni and Daryl reflects how love can take different forms. While their romantic connection may not have matched the passionate lyrics of their songs, their musical partnership created something truly special. Their story suggests that relationships can be meaningful and productive even when they don't fit conventional expectations of romance. Their professional achievements are impressive by any standard. Beyond their Grammy win, they produced multiple hit albums and singles, successfully crossed over into television, and maintained a presence in popular culture for decades. Their music struck a balance between pop accessibility and musical sophistication, thanks to Dragon's arrangements and Tennille's warm, expressive vocals. For Tennille, the experience of being part of Captain Tennille led to significant personal growth. While she may not have found the romantic fulfillment she sought with Dragon, she developed as an artist and performer, eventually finding her voice as a solo artist and author. Her candid sharing of their story has helped others understand the complexities of relationships in the entertainment industry. The duo's arrangements often featured sophisticated musical elements while maintaining pop appeal. Dragon's keyboard work and production skills, combined with Tennille's vocals, created a signature sound that set them apart from their contemporaries. Their ability to blend various musical influences into accessible pop songs contributed to their lasting impact on the genre. Captain and Tennille emerged during a transitional period in popular music, bridging the gap between the earnest love songs of the early 1970s and the more produced sound of the late 1970s. Their success demonstrated that there was still a strong audience for romantic pop music, even as musical tastes were evolving. Their story reveals the human side of celebrity relationships. While their public persona suggested perfect harmony, the reality was more nuanced. This disconnect between public perception and private reality is a common theme in entertainment, but Captain and Tennille's story is particularly poignant because their music so often celebrated the kind of love that proved elusive in their personal lives. Despite the personal challenges, both Toni and Daryl found profound meaning in their musical collaboration. Their work together provided a platform for artistic expression and connection that transcended their personal difficulties. This suggests that meaningful partnerships can exist on multiple levels, with professional creativity sometimes flourishing even when personal relationships face challenges. Dragon's passing in 2019 marked the conclusion of a significant chapter in popular music history. While Captain and Tennille had stopped performing together years earlier, their influence continues through their recordings and the memories of countless fans who connected with their music. Today, Captain and Tennille's music continues to resonate with audiences, their songs regularly featured in films, television shows, and streaming playlists. Their story serves as a reminder that creating beautiful art doesn't require a perfect personal relationship, and that meaningful connections can take many forms. The legacy of Captain and Tennille extends beyond their musical achievements. Their story provides insights into the nature of creative partnerships, the challenges of maintaining relationships in the public eye, and the complex interplay between professional success and personal fulfillment. While their romantic relationship may not have matched their love songs' lyrics, their musical partnership created something truly lasting and meaningful.
After John Van Damme, who is the next? Nobody. Why?
Bolo Yeung breaks his silence on the mystery of Bruce Lee's death. After decades of secrecy, he's revealing the hidden truths Hollywood never wanted you to know. What really happened on Bruce's final day, and could the shadow of organized crime have played a role? These shocking revelations from Lee's closest circle might finally uncover the dark forces that shaped his tragic end. Don't miss this explosive story before it's too late. Before exploring the explosive revelations, we must understand the man behind them. Bolo Yeung's fascination with martial arts began in his youth, where he discovered an unwavering passion for physical discipline. This wasn't just any ordinary interest, it was an all-consuming dedication that would shape his entire life. His first major achievement came through bodybuilding. a pursuit where his extraordinary commitment earned him the coveted title of Mr. Hong Kong. This wasn't a fleeting victory. Yeung dominated the scene for an impressive decade, showcasing the relentless determination that would later define his film career. The late 1960s marked Yeung's transition into cinema, perfectly coinciding with Hong Kong's booming film industry. Starting with small, often uncredited roles, Yeung viewed each opportunity not just as a job, but as a stepping stone toward greater heights. His muscular physique and intense screen presence made him a natural choice for villainous roles, a typecasting that many might have resented but which Yeung transformed into his signature strength. Yeung's pivotal moment came with The Heroic Ones, where director Chung Chae cast him as an unyielding warrior. His ability to stand out in a crowded cast caught the attention of industry insiders, leading to roles that emphasized his impressive physical stature and martial arts prowess. On each set, his dedication was evident, as he developed a unique ability to convey complex emotions through minimal dialogue and powerful body language. Who could have predicted that a simple cigarette commercial would bring together two of martial arts cinema's most iconic figures? The Winston cigarette advertisement shoot became the unlikely setting for Yeung's first encounter with Bruce Lee. This meeting would prove transformative, as Lee recognized qualities in Yeung that others had overlooked. Their professional relationship reached its pinnacle with Enter the Dragon, a film that would become a cornerstone of martial arts cinema. Despite their intense on-screen rivalry, Lee and Yeung developed a deep friendship off-camera, with Lee serving as both colleague and mentor. Lee's own journey to stardom was anything but conventional. Born in the United States in 1940, he began his martial arts training at 13 under the legendary Yip Man, studying Wing Chun. His education wasn't limited to physical combat. At the University of Washington, Lee developed his revolutionary martial arts style, Jeet Kune Do, emphasizing practicality and adaptability over rigid traditional forms. His teaching career, beginning in Seattle and expanding to Oakland and Los Angeles, strategically positioned him within Hollywood's orbit.
The tiger that start like a tiger, using claw to claw the face, or the beak of the crane to the eyes move.
While his role as Kato in The Green Hornet showcased his skills, the show's limited run constrained his impact in America. Ironically, it was in Hong Kong where the show made him a star. Though this recognition did little to break down Hollywood's stereotypical casting barriers. Frustrated with limited opportunities in America, Lee returned to Hong Kong, where he quickly landed a starring role in The Big Boss, 1971. The film shattered box office records and established him as a leading figure in Asian cinema. His subsequent films, Fist of Fury and Way of the Dragon, where he served as actor, writer, and director, elevated his status further. Enter the Dragon represented a groundbreaking collaboration between US and Hong Kong film industries. The film's massive success, generating over $200 million globally, should have launched Lee into unprecedented stardom. Instead, it became his final proof to martial arts cinema, as he passed away at just 32 years old. The events of Lee's final day began normally enough. He met with his producer in Hong Kong, discussing his next project, The Game of Death. Later, he visited actress Betty Ting Pei's apartment, where he complained of a headache, a symptom he'd been experiencing alongside seizures recently. Betty offered him a pill containing a tranquilizer for relief. What was intended as a short rest became eternal silence. When Lee didn't wake for dinner, Betty's attempts to rouse him failed. Despite rushed efforts to save him at Queen Elizabeth Hospital, Bruce Lee was pronounced dead. The official cause of death was listed as acute cerebral edema, severe brain swelling. This condition, doctors explained, resulted from an adverse reaction to the medication's ingredients, particularly the tranquilizer component. The swelling compressed vital brain structures and blood vessels, disrupting blood flow and oxygen supply to the brain. Cerebral edema can arise from various causes, including head injuries, strokes, brain tumors, infections, and metabolic disorders. Symptoms typically include headaches, nausea, vision problems, and mental state changes. In severe cases, it can lead to seizures, unconsciousness, and death. However, some believe Lee's death wasn't accidental. A persistent theory suggests involvement of the Chinese triad, powerful criminal organizations with deep roots in Hong Kong's entertainment industry. According to these theories, Lee's refusal to pay protection money made him a target. The Chinese triad's history dates back to the 17th century, originally forming as secret societies opposing the Qing dynasty. Over time, they evolved into organized criminal enterprises, particularly powerful in Hong Kong, Macau, and Taiwan after the 1949 establishment of the People's Republic of China. Supporters of the triad theory point to several suspicious elements: the presence of Betty Ting Pei and her allegedly inconsistent statements, the unusually quick conclusion of the death investigation, Lee's decision to start his own production company, potentially threatening established studios with triad connections, the subsequent mysterious death of Lee's son Brandon years later. Yeung's recent disclosures shed new light on Lee's character and final days. He shares stories of Lee's generosity as a mentor, including an incident where Lee handled a challenging movie extra with both skill and grace. According to Yeung, Lee's approach to martial arts extended beyond physical technique to encompass diet, philosophy, and personal development. Bruce Lee's impact on martial arts and cinema remains profound. He challenged racial stereotypes in Hollywood, revolutionized martial arts choreography, and inspired countless followers. His sudden death at the height of his career only amplified his legendary status. The role of Hong Kong's complex political and social landscape cannot be ignored. The British colonial government's hands-off approach to certain areas, particularly the notorious Kowloon Walled City, allowed criminal organizations to flourish. During the 1960s, an estimated 1 in 6 Hong Kong residents had some connection to triad groups. Today, the triad's influence continues, though their operations have evolved to include money laundering, fraud, and human trafficking. The Hong Kong Police's Organized Crime and Triad Bureau estimates up to 100,000 active triad members currently operate in Hong Kong. Despite decades of speculation and investigation, many questions remain. Why did the official investigation conclude so quickly? What was Betty Ting Pei's true role in the events? Could Lee's death have been prevented with better medical attention? Was there a broader conspiracy involving the entertainment industry and criminal organizations? Following Lee's death, Yeung emerged as a prominent figure in martial arts cinema, maintaining the disciplined approach to physical training and diet that Lee had emphasized. His career serves as a living proof to Lee's influence and teachings. Whether one accepts the official explanation or suspects a darker conspiracy, Bruce Lee's death remains one of Hollywood's most intriguing mysteries. The timing of Bolo Yeung's revelations coming near the end of his own life adds new layers to this enduring enigma. The story of Bruce Lee's death continues to captivate audiences worldwide, reflecting our endless fascination with legendary figures who leave us too soon. Through Yeung's revelations, we gain not just new insights into Lee's final days, but a deeper appreciation for the complex world of 1970s Hong Kong cinema and the powerful forces that shaped it. As we reflect on these revelations, one question remains. Will we ever know the complete truth about Bruce Lee's death, or will it remain one of cinema's greatest unsolved mysteries? The debate continues, but Lee's impact on martial arts and entertainment remains undimmed, his legacy living on through those who knew him best, including his friend and co-star, Bolo Yeung.
Today's service was much quieter. The guests were admitted by invitation only, and there were only 200 of those sent out. A few fans without invitations showed up at the door, but they were quietly turned away.
In the shadowy world of martial arts legends, few stories have captured public imagination quite like the mysterious death of Bruce Lee. For decades, Chuck Norris, Lee's closest friend and training partner, maintained a stoic silence about the circumstances surrounding the Dragon's untimely passing. Now, after years of speculation, Norris has finally broken his silence, revealing shocking details that challenge everything we thought we knew about Lee's final days. The story begins in 1967 at the prestigious All-American Karate Championship in Madison Square Garden. Two rising stars of the martial arts world were about to cross paths in a moment that would change both their lives forever. Bruce Lee, already making waves with his groundbreaking Hong Kong films The Big Boss and Fist of Fury, watched from the sidelines as Chuck Norris dominated the competition. Despite their different backgrounds and styles, both men recognized in each other a kindred spirit, a dedication to martial arts that transcended mere physical combat. After the tournament, Lee approached Norris with an unusual proposition. "Don't you live in LA?" he asked. "I do too. Why don't we start training together?" This simple question would lead to one of the most legendary partnerships in martial arts history. Training in Lee's backyard became a daily ritual. It was here that both men would push each other to new heights of excellence. Norris, standing 5 feet 10 inches and weighing 160 pounds, was amazed by Lee's ability to generate incredible power from his compact 5 feet 7 inches, 140-pound frame. Within 6 months of their training sessions, Lee had mastered high kicks that rivaled Norris's own expertise, a technique he had previously dismissed as impractical. Their friendship reached its cinematic pinnacle